this next demo, we're going to create a SharePoint Framework adaptive card extension using the primary text card template, and we're going to use the geolocation capabilities in Viva Connections. All right, I'm going to start by creating a brand new list, and we're going to call our list the Campus Shuttle. And I'll save my changes. Now let's go ahead and let's add in a few columns. So I'm going to go in a column for my origin location. I'll save it. I will add in another one called destination location. Actually, we'll call this one destination name. And I'll create another one for the location. And then I'll create another one for choice, for status. And I will just have two choices here. One will be hired and one will be en route. Save our changes. Okay, this is what we're going to use to store the status of all the different drivers on our campus. And in my scenario, is going to use a university campus. So what I'm going to do is come back over to my, my terminal. And I'm going to start by creating a new folder where I want to store my shuttle or store my project. And then I'm going to go ahead and launch the Yeoman generator for the SharePoint framework. Now I'm going to choose the default location for my solution or the default name. I'm going to choose I want to create an adaptive card extension, and then I'm going to use the primary text template and I'm going to name it the Campus Shuttle. Now, after provisioning the files and folders required for the project, the generator is then going to install all the dependency packages by running npm install automatically. And when npm completes downloading all the dependencies, I'm going to open the project up in Visual Studio Code. Now, the ACE that we're going to create is going to give the shuttle driver the option to either select a destination from a list of known locations, or they're going to be able to select to a specific point on a map. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and create a list of places that they can choose from. So I'm going to go to my assets folder and I'm going to add a new file called campuslocations.json and paste it into the project for all the array of locations. Now, each one of these locations should have a name or a title, should have a latitude and a longitude associated with it as well. You can create your own, but I'm just going to use these from a known university. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a service to our project to read from and write to a SharePoint list. So I'm going to go create a new file in our project called spservice.ts and just paste this in. And this method, this function or this service is just going to have a way for us to get a specific item from a SharePoint list, as well as how to upsert items. So either create or update an item in the list. So we're not going to go through all the code for that because it's pretty boilerplate how to read and write to a SharePoint list. What it did do, though, there's one thing that it did have is that it did have a couple different class statuses that we could use as well that are going to be expected as the different choices that we have in our SharePoint list. Now, the next thing that we need to do is our project has some core dependencies that have been added to it. So now let's implement the initialization of some core features when the ACE is going to load on the page. And that involves configuring the state of the ACE and enabling the user to set the ID of the list that contains the driver trip detailed information. So if I come over here to my extension, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to add in on the title the list ID as a property that we're going to want to define and let the user set. On the property pane, I'm going to go in and add in another value for this as well. So we'll have our title, and this will be the list ID, and the title for this will be the list ID, which will be a GUID, be expecting a GUID. And then what I'm going to want to do is if I go back to my extension, whenever that value changes for the list ID, I'm going to implement the on property pane field changed event so that when the ID changes, I'm going to go fetch all my list items and update them in my current trip. Now, obviously, we haven't set our state yet. We've got to do that. We've also got to import some stuff as well for our service. So let's come back up to the top and let's add in an import statement to import in the values from our service. And then I also want to set the state to a current trip, which will be an iList item that will pass in. Now, once we've set our state, we then need to be able to, initialize the state. So I'm going to do that by coming over here and setting the initial state for the component when it loads. Before it's fetched any data from the SharePoint list, I'm going to set the current trip equal to the title of the current item is going to be this.context.page.context.user.login name. That's the title that we're going to use. The title field for our list is going to contain the current user that's using that's logged in. So it's going to be their email address or their UPN. Their status is going to be set to status of being available because they currently aren't set on a trip yet. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add some additional code here to our on init to go fetch those things after we've gone through and registered our views. So I'm going to come down here before we finish our promise, and I'm going to say if you have a list ID set, then go try and fetch it and then set that value if we got the trip out of it. So if we did not get a list item, then that means the driver is not currently on a trip. If there is one there, we are going to display that. We know that they are currently either en route to pick somebody up or they're on the way to deliver a passenger somewhere. When they are no longer in a trip, we're just going to delete the record. And because we're using the await keyword, I need to add the async keyword to our on init method, which we can do because we already have a promise that's being defined. Let's see, what else do we want to do on this one? Let's scroll. I think we're in pretty good shape there. All right, now the next thing we want to do. The last step before I test this out is to remove our current QuickView. Later, we're going to add in a bunch of different QuickViews to our ACE. So I'm going to start by removing it from our extension. So I'm going to say QuickView, we'll delete it here. I'm going to delete my export statement to it here. And I'm going to delete my registration to it for the QuickView as well right here. And then in the QuickView, I'm going to delete the JSON file because I'm not going to be returning that. Move that to trash. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this QuickView class as well. Move that to trash. And then the last thing is, let's go to our card view that references this. And we know we're not going to use our QuickView right here, so I can delete that. We'll put these on separate lines because we will be adding lots of QuickViews to this one. And I'm also going to want to remove our external link because we're not going to use that action. And we're also going to remove our QuickView action right here as well for right now. We removed the ID for it already. And the next thing I'm going to do is, let's do another import statement for status. Oh, let's just go to from SP service and let's say status available. We're going to use that in this class. And then let's update our card buttons right here. And we're going to replace it with a switch statement that is just going to return back no button for right now. We're going to add to this as we go through building this exercise out. And then as far as the data goes, well, the data we're going to bind to our card view is going to have primary text associated with it. That's going to be set to the primary text of our component. The description property is going to be set to this. If the status is available, then we're going to say it's available for hire. And then otherwise, we're going to have to do this to do, which we'll fill in later. And then our card selection, we're not going to support the user selecting the card. So we're just going to delete that. Now let's go ahead and let's test our ACE out at this point. So I'm going to say gulp serve no browser. And let's come back over here to our project. We'll refresh the workbench and let's add in our campus shuttle. And there we go. We can see our campus shuttle is here and I can go edit it and grab the ID for our list. So we'll see this in the future. Settings, 7B, right to 7D, and then it goes right up to the %sign. So grab that and we'll paste that in. And there we go, we're good, saving our changes. So now we're all good.